Hello and welcome everybody to a special video here on the World of Football YouTube channel. I'm Adam Stowe. I'm here with my father, Randy. You might have seen these two mugs, and you might have also seen our guest mug around the arena football sphere from time to time. And some of you might not know, it's Randy's best friend, Mr. Steven Titus, owner of the Billings Outlaws of Arena Football 1. Steven, welcome to the channel. It's an honor to finally talk to you myself. I know Randy just gushes about how much your friendship means to him. And, he's always showing me that Billings Outlaw shirt he said that you gave him personally.
I did. That's a true story. I talked to Randy so many times at the Arena Bowl. We had a great time. It is my best friend. It's glad to be on your guys' show. We had a great time at the Arena Bowl, and it was obviously a good time because we won. But it's good finally meeting Randy, and I can't wait to meet you here, Adam. Hopefully here one of these days soon.
Yeah, hopefully one of these days.
Maybe in Albany. When we go for 3-0 against the Firebirds here in a few weeks.
We're trying to figure out our schedule in the fall, so we'll see what games we're going to end up going to. That's definitely one we got circled.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. All right. You want me to start asking?
Hey, go ahead. You got the list of questions, and I just got a bunch of scribbles on a piece of paper. Let's do this.
Okay. All right. Well, first I wanted to say, Steve, welcome to the show. I decorated my little cubicle here for just for you. The shirt. Our favorite team that we were season ticket holders of, the Grand Rapids Rampage. You know what these two teams have in common, don't you?
They're the two smallest cities to ever win Arena Bowl championships.
There you go. Arena Bowl champions both. And
was that the answer? But they're the two smallest franchises, the city sizes to ever win Arena Bowls.
I know that Grand Rapids was. Billings might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But in my mind, the answer was they're both Arena Bowl champions.
Okay,
and,
that works.
And
Sorry to overcomplicate it.
And I was at both games when they won the championship. So,
yeah.
And that's a fun fact right there. The Billings Outlaws are 1-0 when Randy Snow's in attendance, Steven. So just to Randy, throw that out there.
What's it going to take for you to relocate to the Magic City then? Obviously, we want to make sure that we continue that winning streak with Randy in attendance.
Well, it's funny. Adam and I were talking about this before you came on. And on our podcast, many times we've said that we can be bought for a couple of hot dogs and Cokes at a game. So, if somebody offers that to us, we come wherever they offer us food for a game.
Perfect.
But,
and that's
but
one
seriously,
good thing about them. Huh?
Go ahead.
No, we got great food at the Metro and Billings. I mean, they have great options. They even have have you heard of Fuddruckers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great burgers. I mean, they have great food at the Metro. So whenever you all ever come to Billings, we'll make sure that y'all are well taken care of.
All right. Well, we got that. It's on the internet forever. So there we go, Dad. I think mission accomplished. We can end the interview right now.
Perfect.
Hey, you have a McRib at every game, and I'll be there.
That's easy.
All right. Well, let's get down to business here. The reason you're here, Steve, you've been the Billings Outlaws owner for a couple of years now. Tell us how that came to be. How you came to be the owner of the team.
So, real complicated, somewhat is I started by owning a team. So I'm here in my law office in Gillette. This is where I live. Probably 60 to 70% of the time is in Gillette. And then I have a place in Billings that I'll stay at when I'm in town. And so a local community leader came to me and said, Steve, do you want to get into arena football? And I go, I really don't know much about it. I know Gillette had a team, and Wyoming didn't have a ton of COVID restrictions. So we had great turnouts at our game. I mean, we were selling 4,000 or 5,000 seats a game in a town of 50,000 here in Gillette. So, I mean, we were having amazing turnouts, and the team was just absolutely terrible. I mean, I think they won one game that season. Just a horrible team. Horrible product, but it was getting good turnout. And so they come to me and go, Steve, do you want to buy the team? Because the owners of this team were wanting to expand into other markets. And I go, I really don't know much about it, but I think it'd be great advertising for my law firm. So I go, let's do it. We'll figure it out on the back end. So I get into it, and I go, what did I get myself into? And then we had just a horrible season. It was horrible. We lost a ton of money. But come to be that I met Cedric Walker, our head coach in Billings, and we brought him to Gillette, and really got to be real close with Coach Walker. And at that time, the owners of the Outlaws were destroying that franchise, and I have family in Billings, and it was come to be, hey, do you want to buy the Billings Outlaws? And I go, again, I really don't know a ton about this stuff, but I looked into the Outlaws franchise. Outlaws, are a very historic team in the arena football. They've been around for about 25 years. They won the first two indoor football league championships. So, I mean, it's a very historic franchise. Billings recognizes the franchise, and I go, let's do it. So we pull it off, and our first game is the first game that I owned the teams. It was both Gillette and Billings at the time. It was a playoff game, and it was Billings playing Gillette. And it was a horrible feeling. It was just nauseous. Two teams playing each other. I really don't know a lot about Billings. What's going on in Billings? Gillette plays each other, and then we start to build the franchise up. Coach Walker stays with me here in Gillette, and we hire a head coach in Billings, and they start rebuilding the franchise in Billings. There was a ton of sponsors that were just really pissed off because the old owners had screwed them over. The franchise was somewhat burned. So many times in arena football, you see a team come in with good intentions, but you don't have business people running these organizations. They spend the money quicker than they can earn it, and you end up not being able to finish the season. I mean, we've seen this so many times in arena football. And so we have that going on, and we're able to say that we decide after the 2023 season that we need to merge both teams, both Billings and Gillette. And one of the big reasons is Gillette doesn't have the facilities to have arena football. I mean, the ceiling's too low. There's videos online of our games here in Gillette where footballs with the hanging field goal posts that the IFL uses were hitting the ceilings, hitting the lights. So it was impossible to have arena football in Gillette. And so we decided to merge the two franchises. I bring Coach Walker up to Billings, and we hit it hard. We hit the pavement hard. We start working with partners. We start working with our arena. We start working on bringing arena football to the greatness that it used to be. And, Coach Walker and I oftentimes have this philosophical debate: is Billings too small of a city for arena football? And we go back and forth on this, to be honest with you. Being part of AF1, we want a certain product that looks good on TV. We have our nationally broadcast games and things like that. And as on the board of directors of the AF1, I don't want a product with a half empty arena on national TV representing the organization. And so it really pulls me apart. Do I look at the best interest of my team or the organization, the AF1? And so we're doing everything possible to really pull off. I kind of compare it to a Green Bay Packers model. Green Bay is one of the smaller franchises in the NFL, but they can pack Lambeau every week. And so we're doing what we need to do to have that loyal following in Billings to make sure that our arena is full every week, that it looks good on TV, and that we have a winning product. And I think it's great. Billings is the smallest franchise ever to win an Arena Bowl championship. And when we had that Nashville Cats game, we had a great turnout. We had great sponsorship. We had great partners in Billings. And so we're doing everything we need to do to create a sustainable small market franchise that can compete with an Albany, that can compete with an Orlando, that can compete with a Nashville. And so we're doing what we need to do up in Billings to keep greatness there and do what we need to do to win an inaugural AF1 championship here next July.
So, what has your life been like since winning the Arena Bowl last summer?
So it's been, I caught a lot of shit at our league meetings about that. There were a lot of jokes. Mike Porta, one of the owners in Albany, and I have become real good friends. And, there's a lot of jokes. He calls this a rivalry. And I say, well, one team has to beat the other team for a rivalry to exist. And so being 2-0 against Albany, I'm not sure it's quite a rivalry yet if we keep winning. So needless to say, though, everyone's a good sport about it. One of the things that I took personally, and I was really excited to do, was designing the ring. And so the rings get here next week. So I'm really excited to get that championship ring on my finger. But it's really cool. I mean, you look at some of the teams that have won AFL championships. Some of the owners. I mean, you have Bon Jovi's, you have Elways. I mean, it's the AFL isn't yet. Our AF1 isn't where the AFL used to be, but we have the right people in the right positions to make it become something like that again. So it's been really, really a great experience. Billings has been really receptive. One thing we did in the off season is we moved our office, our team headquarters, to the mall in Billings, and there are people all day, every day that stop by, take pictures with the trophy, that come talk to Coach Walker. It's really increasing that visibility of the organization. And um, I don't know if people know this or not, but probably not a lot of people do. But my full time job is I have a busy law firm here in Wyoming, and it takes me throughout Wyoming and South Dakota quite a bit. So, I trust Coach Walker as our GM to really do a lot of the day to day stuff. We have a great staff in Billings that runs the day to day operations. Our salespeople, our merchandise people, our coaching staff. I think that Coach. I think when you see some of the changes to our coaching staff for the 2025 season, Coach Bonner, I know Coach Walker has announced this. Coach Bonner's not returning for 2025, one of the greatest arena football players of all time, without a doubt. But his son's Mace is going to be a senior next year in high school. And so I know Coach wants to be around for Mace's last year. And then he has his youngest son that's coming up as well. So he only has a few more years of being a dad before the kids go off. Yeah, but I could definitely foresee Coach Bonner in the announcer's booth, or be getting back on the sideline once the boys go to college. So I'm excited to, once we announce who our new assistant head coach is, I think once you see what he did last season, it's going to be a great addition to our team. No one will replace Coach Bonner, but I think we have the next best thing once we do make our coaching staff announcement.
So, did you get the idea to move your office, the team office, to a mall after the Arena Bowl last year? You said, it's kind of cool having arena football in a mall.
Yeah, I never thought of that, actually. That never clicked, that we now have the Brawl in the Mall in the Rimrock Mall in Billings in our office. But that's actually funny. Actually, I've never connected the two. That's actually really funny.
Well, you're too busy doing the team's work and getting ready for the next season to think about these sort of things. I got all this time to think about that.
That's
Don't
funny.
try to bribe or smooze your way to get in the championship ring, Randy. It's not going to work.
No.
Funny, but no. What actually happened was the building we were at was in downtown Billings. So I have a place probably a block away, and it was an easy walk for me to come to the office when I was in town. But the building that we were in just got sold to a developer, and they're going to demolish the building, and they're building a huge Marriott in downtown Billings with a rooftop bar and rooftop restaurant, and they're really revitalizing downtown. And so our building was on the demolition block, and they're getting ready to demolish it to put in a huge Marriott downtown. And so we were in one of those positions where we had to decide, do we want to stay downtown, or do we want to try to go to a place with more visibility based on what we know with downtown? So we decided to go try the downtown thing. We have a great partnership with Rimrock Mall, and we have a great new team store down there, team headquarters. I mean, for Black Friday, we sold a ton of merchandise. We had a lot of people interested in season tickets, so I think it was definitely the right move to move team headquarters into the mall. So right next to the pizza place, between the pizzeria and the pretzel store, in what used to be an AT&T store, it's where our team headquarters are. But it's a great setup. They did a really good job. Our outlaw staff did.
Cool. I look forward to checking that out when I get out there sometime.
No, you're
said
interested in seeing the pretzel stand. We all know it. It's fine.
We know it.
It's fine. You can admit it.
It's an
You're talking food.
too, I think.
Oh,
You're talking food. You're talking my language, and so I'm in.
And we're right across from the Cinnabon as well.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
yep.
You don't,
Randy.
You don't have to sell it. I'm already in. You don't have to sell it anymore. All right. You said Coach Cedric Walker, is coming back next year. How has the player signings been going so far? Have you got a number of players returning from last year?
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is where I think you're seeing a lot less. If you look at Albany, you look at Billings, you look at some of the other teams, you see a lot different player being signed this year. Last season, when we were signing players, we were signing them under the Ironman rulebook. And so when you sign Ironman players, you sign probably 70% players that can play on both sides of the ball. They may not be the best person for that position and play only that position. You sign people that are good both ways. With us going to the free substitution rule set this year, you're looking for those 100% guys. You're looking for those guys that are the best for their position. And so the strategy for signing players is a little bit different. But we do have some of our guys coming back, and coaches strategizing when we're announcing players and things like that, and when we're signing them. And so, no, I think you're going to see a different type of team being signed by these teams this year because you're just recruiting a different type of player.
Okay. Well, I want to start talking about the upcoming season. First thing I have here is, do you know anything about the Wilkes-Barre team, and when are we going to hear about their nickname? I assumed we would have heard about that by now. Do you know if and when that's coming anytime soon?
Absolutely. I mean, Matt Rowland, the owner of Wilkes-Barre, he's a boxing promoter. I mean, he knows how to put butts in seats and put on a product that people are excited about. And so I know Matt's being very strategic with what he's doing up there. He wants this buzz, he wants this talk. I look for a very good Wilkes-Barre team up there that'll really contend with Albany and the rest of the East. But I haven't talked to Matt about when he's going to announce the team name and things like that. But I know that every team's working on jersey designs right now and finalizing that. So I know Matt's right there doing what he needs to do for his team as well. So I'm excited about Wilkes-Barre. I wish I was going to be playing up there this season, but we'll just have to take it. We'll just have to take down Albany in April instead.
That was going to be one of my questions was, is there going to be a new uniform partner this year? And you kind of hinted at stuff's being worked on. Probably can't make a formal announcement, but I think it's pretty cool that we're getting some new unis. I'm a uniform guy. I love seeing the new designs. So what can you tell us about that?
No, absolutely. The league has a partnership with a uniform provider. They make great product. It's not going to be kind of the basic high school, college uniforms that we had in the past. They're going to be the league's going to oversee them, make sure they look good on TV. I know we have some of our production partner, our national TV production partner, make sure that the colors are going to look good on TV. They're going down this year to every detail, including the game balls, whether the right color of stitching on the game balls is going to look good in different arenas. They're pretty detail oriented. You have, Gary Compton, Coach Comp, really looking down at details. Jared Courage is looking at details. We had presentations at our league meetings of different balls, different footballs, game balls to be used. And we're going to go to an all leather ball. We're not going to use the synthetic stuff that we had. I think, the synthetic football that we had last year, it's going to be a full leather ball. And so, no, there's a lot of details in the work to make sure that the product looks good on TV and in the arena if you attend the game.
And you mentioned broadcast partner. I'm sure there's nothing you can announce right here, right now. Don't worry, we're not looking for the exclusive. But what can you tell us about a timetable as far as announcing the broadcast partner?
A lot of good things are in the works. For sure, we have broadcast options. And so the question is, obviously, do we want to do something exclusive or do we want to use multiple partners? It's really kind of leveraging our options right now. And I can't go into who they are, but we want to be the best non-outdoor league in America. And this is frankly, how you separate us from the rest is there's always the option to be on YouTube, but what's the monetization look like? And that's why we have Adam Pelletier to look at that and to advice. Do you look at being on some other kind of streaming app? All of it comes down to nickels and dimes. It's easy to put something on YouTube, but how is the best way to monetize that? There's a lot of options out there. If we do an exclusive deal with one provider, are they going to put the rest of our games on their app? There's just so much negotiating right now going on, and we have a lot of people with a lot of experience working on that and advising the league. But there's no announcement yet. But we expect to announce something probably after the holidays. This is kind of a slow time of year for networks between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I would expect something early next year. I don't think we'll get there this year. Not to say that we won't, but don't. It's just a slow time of year between Thanksgiving and Christmas for networks. But um, I think that with the group we have, I know Jeff Fisher called me this morning to talk about one of our options, and I know he was really excited for it. And so there's a lot of options out there to make sure that we're getting our eyes on our game to as many people as possible.
Well, let's talk about the schedule coming up. Your
Yeah,
team's going to be in the West Division this year.
yeah.
Um, and so you're going to be playing the Washington Wolfpack, which you played
Mhm.
uh, 3 times last year. I guess you beat them all 3 times, didn't you?
Sounds about
Oh,
right.
you beat them twice last year. Yes, you beat them home and away. I'm sorry, I had that note written down.
We beat everyone
So the
except
Wolf,
Nashville once. So you can name
Yeah.
every team, and we beat them all except Nashville once.
true, very true.
Sorry.
Let's see. So you've also got a couple of new teams out there. You've got the Arizona Bandits
Yeah,
coming in Tempe,
yeah,
and you've also got the Oregon Lightning coming in Bend, Oregon. Um,
yeah.
what do you expect out of those 3 opponents in your division this year?
Coach Walker, if he was here right now, he'd say, "Steve, say you're just going to go 1-0 every week." But that's he gets mad at me when I say anything else. 1-0, Steve. That's all we're going to say. We're going to go 1-0. I go, okay. I expect the West to be competitive. We don't know what to expect. We don't know, coach and the players. We're still reviewing film. I know our coaching staff's just kind of reviewing film, seeing what kind of players these guys are signing. That's I expect these teams to be competitive because the fact of the matter is every team wants to win because winning sells seats. Winning increases revenue for these teams whether they like it or not, and everyone wants to be competitive and make it to the AF1 championship game. And because that's how you sell partnerships is you got to have a winning team. Uh, you know, Oregon, Washington, Arizona. I'm looking forward to going to all of those places, and I'm looking forward to. Coach Walker knows the assignment, and he proved last year he knows how to accomplish the assignment, and I expect the same thing this year.
So your schedule is a little odd. You have 4 straight road games to start the season, and you've got a bye week thrown in there too. So your first home game isn't going to be until week 6. Uh, did did you did you have anything to say about that? About how the schedule turned out?
Well, it sucks. To be honest with you, it sucks that we're going to be on the road for the first month and a half. There's no doubt about it. I'm not happy about it. I'm not thrilled, but I also don't own the Metro Park Arena, so uh, they have the the hard thing about Billings in Montana is Metro Park is really kind of the only arena in the state. And so, because of that, you have state basketball, you have state wrestling, you have state championships for other sports there. You have a whole bunch of stuff going on to where I don't want to play on Wednesdays. I don't want to play on Thursdays. I don't want to play on Sundays. I don't want to play on Mondays. I want to play on Saturday night because that's when I sell tickets. And so, from a business perspective, if I move back my home games to later in the season, I'm going to sell more tickets in the end because the same season is going to happen at the same season. And so I'm fine with sacrificing some of our home games at the beginning of the season to make sure that we can maximize our revenue towards the back end. And so absolutely not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. And I'm confident that we'll be able to get through it. And the fact of the matter is we'll have the team ready to have confidence and, you know, ready for the playoffs. And fingers crossed that we'll be a number 1 seed. And once we have our last away game, we'll be hosting the Arena Football One Championship game in Billings, Montana, come mid-July.
Well, I can almost see where this might work out in your favor because you get these road games out of the way early, and then towards the end of the season, guys are going to be home all the time, and you're not going to be traveling. They're going to be fresher. You're going to. I think this might cause you to finish the season strong by having most of your home games towards the end of the season. So it may work out. I don't know.
And that's what Coach Walker and I have both said is that this may not be the worst thing in the world. We'll see how it all plays out, but we're going to have a lot less stress at the end of the season when it actually counts. I mean, you don't get a special award for having so many home games in the first few weeks. You don't get a special award for going undefeated in the regular season. All that matters is you make the playoffs and you fight to win that AF1 championship in July, and that's what we're focused on is winning the AF1 championship in July.
Yeah. Well, one of those road games, your first four, is going to be all the way over to Albany for a rematch of the Arena Bowl from last year. Um, I suppose you're really looking forward to that game this year.
Absolutely. Any chance that I can play my non-rival team is a chance I'll take. Maybe uh, we were the home team in our last championship game last time I checked, but Randy, you can admit there was no home field advantage at all for the Billings
No.
Outlaws. There wasn't. I mean, there was no home field advantage. So we beat Albany once already in New York, and we look forward to beating them again in April when we go out to Albany. And I'm looking forward to it because the ownership group, Mike Porta and Andy Gelcher, I really got to know the guys. Went through a lot with them, and so I look forward to getting out to Albany. I've never been to Albany, so I'm looking forward to going out and seeing the capital region and going to I think it's called VIP Arena, going out to their setup because I watch their broadcast. It looks really nice on TV. I'm really excited to get hazed by the Albany crowd and stuff. So I'm really excited for it, to be honest with you. But I can tell you that we look forward to also bringing home the W after that game as well.
We've been to Albany. It's a pretty nice place. I think we were there for like 12 hours and then turned right around and came back again. That was one of the longest trips we have ever made, Adam and I. But you talk about anybody having an advantage in the Arena Bowl. I mean, you had to travel a lot farther to get to New Jersey than Albany did. I mean, I think they bust a lot of people from Albany for their fans.
Yeah,
But I will say that you had a significant amount of fans make that trip to come
we
all the
did.
way to New Jersey for that game. I sat with them and they were everywhere.
That's what we're lucky at Billings. I mean, we have very loyal fans. We have a great crowd. I mean, that's you have one of the oldest arena football teams in the country that's been around for going on 25 years. That's what you get, and that's why I think Billings is the right city for the team. We just got to figure out that attendance and our partnership a little bit better. There's always room for improvement. Whenever you say everything's perfect, that's when you just become satisfied. But everything can always be a little bit better. But there's no doubt in my mind that Billings is the right city for that for the Outlaws, and so we look forward to doing what we need to do to keep that team strong, and that we have good Billings Outlaws attendance at all of our away games this season. I'm looking forward to going to the new markets. I'm looking forward to going down to Tempe. I've spent a little bit of time down in Phoenix lately, and I love it down there. Great people. There's a lot of things to do. Corpus Christi. I'm looking forward going down to Corpus Christi. And so we're looking forward to having Salina come up to Billings. And I don't know if you all know this or not, but Salina's head coach Haran O'Neill is the Outlaws' old head coach. He got the Outlaws 2 IFL championships, and Coach O'Neill, he's a great person. He's a great friend of mine. He lives in Billings as well. He lives in Billings during the Salina off season, and so I know him and Coach Walker talk quite a bit with them both living in Billings now. But no, I think we have some great opponents. We have some great football that's going to be coming out. And do I wish we were playing Nashville again this year? Absolutely. Do I wish John Chaney from Orlando was coming and wearing a Hawaiian shirt in Billings this year? Absolutely. But hopefully one of these days we play Orlando. And I've told John a few times, as John does his show on Monday nights, and whenever he beats a team, he puts their logo on a skull, and I go, "You're never going to catch an Outlaws logo on that skull." And I know he wants one too. So maybe in the Arena Bowl that'll happen. But no, I am excited for the season. I'm excited for the schedule. I think we've got the right people in the right places. You got Jeff Fisher, you got Jerry Kurz, I mean, you have Gary Compton. I mean, we have a great staff. We have the absolute best staff in indoor. I'll even go as far as to say in any non-outdoor football league. That's our goal, is to be the premier non-outdoor football team in North America, and we're doing one thing at a time to get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we're not going to be able to build this organization in a day. But I think that we're doing the right things. If we see a franchise that's not ready yet, Jerry's not scared to pull the plug. Uh, we got great leadership. We don't want something to fail mid-season. We want to stop the bleeding before it even starts.
So is it pretty much set in stone that the highest seed will be hosting the Arena Bowl this year? I didn't know if that was it had been set yet, or is Is there still a
Yeah.
possibility there might be another neutral site?
Absolutely, it's going to be the highest seed that'll host the Arena Bowl, unless a city or a venue comes to us with a amount of money to make it worth our time. Then I foresee that the highest seed will get it. I mean, what we did last year, the brawl in the mall, it was cool, it was fun, but it cost a lot of money and it wasn't done correctly in terms of sales and sponsorships and things like that. So it didn't make sense monetarily. I mean, I lost probably $60,000 or $70,000 because I didn't have a home Arena Bowl game when the league spent $200,000 or $300,000 on the brawl in the mall, and so again, you have non-business people that don't know this industry trying to make business decisions, and it fails miserably. There are people that you trust, the experts in the area, the Jerry Kurzes that have been around the business side of things, and you trust their instincts and things, and whether the arena football model works, and you kind of just go.
Yeah, we've been proponents about the highest seed or the highest remaining seed getting the home game. We from experience, we'll talk with that Grand Rapids Rampage. Like when we hosted that Arena Bowl in 2001, it was magical. That place was packed. It meant a lot to that city. It was just a great time to be an arena football fan and a fan here in Michigan because our Lions have been pretty bad up to that point. So then the Rampage come along, win a championship, and it was special, and we wanted that for other teams and in this league that we've cared about so much. So that's like when we hear any talk about a neutral site game, we kind of wince and hesitate, and it's just because we remember that magic and we want other fan bases who've been with that team all year long to experience that same thing. And for Billings, something like that will be truly unforgettable.
Billings deserved better, and it was a very strange situation that led to all that. It was changing of ownerships of the league. It was a whole bunch of turmoil, and it ended up costing, Billings more money than anyone in that whole thing, just because we lost the home game. But we'll kind of just see how everything plays out. But I can definitively say that it will be the high seed that will host the Arena Bowl, unless, again, a neutral site venue offers the league a considerable sum of money to have a neutral site.
And it's 6 playoff teams, correct? Right? So half the league will be able to play in the dance. All right.
That's correct. Yep. 5 games. Yeah. So it'll be a first round bye for 1 and 2. Then you'll have, 5 play 3, or 6 play 3, 4 and 5, then reseed, and then go into the semifinals and then the championship game. And there will be a bye week between the semifinals and the championship game.
Okay.
Just so we can sell tickets, the home team can sell some tickets,
right?
Get some publicity, get the network stuff set up, things like that. So, there's some strategy in place. And right now, I think we're projecting the Arena Bowl to be the week of. It's not the July 4th week, but it'll be the next week. So whenever the week after July 4th, or July 11th, sometime in that area will be current projections.
Okay. I've noticed on social media that you've got some new championship game, T-shirts out there. I definitely want to snag
already. Dang it! I told you not to do this.
You want? I can send you some of those in a pretzel.
No. Okay. I am going to.
He'll take the pretzel.
I'm going to buy some. Yeah, food I won't turn down. T-shirts maybe. No, they look really nice from what I've seen, and I really want one. I've got T-shirts from teams going back to the Rampage, so I need some more Billings Outlaw stuff for my personal collection. They say that dark is supposed to make you look slimmer. Yeah, right.
It does.
Don't
talk like that.
But yeah, no, they look great, and everybody should go out and get a new Billings Outlaws Championship T-shirt.
No,
we really want some mini helmets, Steven. Can we get Randy a Billings Outlaws mini helmet?
There you go. Yes.
So we ran out of them. We sold out of them last season. I got to get some more made. But we actually have a group out of where they out? Nebraska, I think. And what they do is they buy the Rydell mini helmets and they hand make each one of those mini helmets. I couldn't believe that you just can't buy those in bulk from Rydell, but you actually have to go to like a reseller to have them individually done. And so I'll see what I can do. We're still finalizing our helmet design and our jersey design for next year, but I think we may change things up a little bit. We'll see, but I'll see what I can do once we get that down. No, I liked it the all blue, but then it would have looked better with a white helmet. So who knows what we'll do? But we're kind of looking at things right now.
Hey, as soon as they're for sale, give Randy a call. He'll be your first customer. He will slap the money down so fast you won't even believe it.
There you go.
You know, when I had our graphic designer, I met with her and I go, hey, she goes, Steve, everyone wants a championship shirt. We need to design one. I go, yeah, we need to do that. Like things you don't think of, like designing championship shirts, like like it doesn't cross your mind until you've actually done this. And she goes, Steve, what do you want it to say? And I go, you know, there's people are liking this vintage design, like this kind of 90s design. So I go, let's look up some old Super Bowl shirts. And so we found an old Super Bowl shirt that we kind of liked and kind of used that as our kind of inspiration for our Super Bowl shirt. And so, no, it turned out really well. It looks really good. I was wearing one earlier today. I really like how our shirts came out. So, no, our rings get here next week. So I'm excited to get our championship rings. And no, it's kind of a cool time to be a Billings Outlaws fan right now with all this stuff going on. And looking to launch our new merchandise for the 2025 season. And 100 days from today, we'll be kicking off. It's crazy to think as our opening weekend game is 100 days from today against Oregon. So it's already here.
Excellent.
Well, also, Steven, you just celebrated a birthday this past week, so we want to wish you a happy birthday, by the way. And my question is, how does the owner of the Billings Outlaws celebrate his birthday?
Okay, very easy. Is Monday. So I went with some friends, some great friends. I went to Canada for Thanksgiving, and I got back on Monday the 2nd, and my birthday was on the 3rd, and my office was wondering, Steve, you've been gone for 5 days. We have a whole bunch of stuff for you to do. So literally, I was in a suit and tie, and I had court all day, and I had bowling league Tuesday night. And so I was in bed sober without partying by 10 p.m. And so it was not crazy of a birthday, but I have my annual Christmas party over in Deadwood, South Dakota on this Saturday. So I think I'm going to make up for lost time this Saturday as we have my office's annual Christmas party. So that's how we'll be celebrating. We'll be having a good time over in Deadwood on Saturday night. But nothing too crazy at all. Like I'm pretty lame, to be honest with you.
Well, that leads me to my next question, which is, have you consumed any adult beverages out of that Arena Bowl trophy? If so, how much? If not, why not? And if I were to come to Billings, would I be able to drink an alcoholic beverage out of that trophy? Just feel free to answer all those as you need to.
True story. 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I look at one of my assistants at the Outlaws game, and I go, I knew there was a grocery store in the mall, an American Dream. And it was over in the food court, and I go, hey, here's $100. Go buy some beer. And I had a feeling we were going to win. But it's arena football under our rule set. I knew Albany's kicker couldn't kick. We were up by 12. I knew that the most they could score is 10 points because they get the 6 for the touchdown, 4 for the 4-point conversion. I knew he wasn't shooting a deuce. Like he knew the game. Their kicker wasn't going to get a deuce. So I knew we were looking okay there. And that last minute of that game was the longest minute of arena football. I think it took 30 minutes, to be honest with you. I mean, it took so long. The clock wasn't running. The clock operator, I don't know what was going on there, but that last minute of that game was 20 minutes long, I'm pretty sure. And I remember thinking, we're going to lose this goddamn game. I remember thinking, this is not over. Everyone starts coming over to congratulate me, and I go, stay away from me. You're going to jinx this. Do not congratulate me. This is not over yet. We're only up by, I think maybe we're up by 18 at that point. Maybe it was 2 possessions. I can't remember. But it was 20 seconds left, and we're up by, what did we win by 5? So we were up by 12, yeah. And I go, we're going to lose this thing. I go, we've done this. We did this to Albany last time they were in Billings. We scored 12 points in 11 seconds. And so I had him go over get beer. We won. We get the championship trophy. I remember going down to the locker room, and I remember having some beer and just taking a sip out of it first. And I remember going, with so many expletives, congratulations, everyone. And just started pouring beer in it. And I drink it and I go, we won this fucking thing. I just start splashing that thing around. Everyone's drinking out of it. Absolutely, we were drinking out of that trophy. But I remember thinking we need some beer with about 3 minutes left that, hey, we might win this thing. And so if so, everyone's going to remember drinking beer out of the championship trophy the night we beat the Outlaws. So yeah, absolutely, there was beer at the arena there that night. And drinking out of the championship trophy. And yes, Adam, when you come to Billings, we can fill that thing back up.
Life goal. Yep. All right, Randy, we know what we're doing.
Well, can we put some?
If I get to drink out of the trophy.
And we could have pretzels too, because nothing's better than pretzels and beer.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't drink, so can we put Mountain Dew in it first and then fill it up for him? Because
no, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Do that.
Okay. Adam, that's all the questions I had. Anything else before we let this guy go?
That was like, I got to use that as the last question. Yikes.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to top a story like that. I don't think we're going to get anything else out of him that's going to top that story.
Probably not. But I mean, what a treasure trove of stories you got, Steven. I'm sure we could pick your brain all day long.
I love talking about this stuff. We can talk all day.
I'm sure we'll be talking as soon as the mics go off here. But I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the channel. It's been something we've been trying to get in the works for a while. We were kind of waiting for the schedule to come out and for things to settle down. And we're just glad that we could find time in that busy schedule of yours to pop on.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I do have
anything I can do. Yeah.
I do have.
Dang it, Randy, we were like, you just every time we were like on a smooth way to transition out, and you just have to butt something.
That's right. No, I was just going to say, Steve, is there anything that you wanted to talk about other than drinking beer out of the trophy that we didn't ask you about that maybe you wanted to bring up, something that's coming up or something that's happened since you won the trophy?
No, I don't think so. I think,
Okay.
We're doing everything we can to, get ready to win the inaugural AF1 championship. If you guys ever wanted Jeff on here, Jerry or anyone, I'm sure they'd love to come on and talk to you, because you know who the best storyteller is, who I could talk to all day, is Jeff Fisher. I mean, he has some of the most amazing stories, arena football, of outdoor football. I mean, that man is just a treasure trove of information. He's one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. When he was walking around, when he came up for the Billings-Nashville game, I mean, I couldn't believe I was walking him around and everyone wanted to take pictures with him, talk to him about how they knew him. And, Jeff has a lot of connections with Montana. He lives, he has a place outside of Bozeman. His son played for University of Montana up in Missoula. I mean, they have a great history in Montana. And so I think a lot of times Jeff would rather be in Montana than in Nashville. But, he always calls me, and if he's in Montana and doesn't tell me he's in Montana, he goes, "Hey, buddy, I was in your state and I forgot to tell you I was here. I just wanted to, Jeff's awesome." So, no, it's we got a great group here, and I'm really looking forward to how things progress for the season. Are there going to be speed bumps along the way? Yes. Are there going to be roadblocks that we didn't anticipate? Absolutely. We're trying to form something with a lot of moving pieces. But I can tell you that we'll always hold ourselves accountable to the fans, to our partners, to our players. We're going to do everything we can to create the best model there absolutely is, and we're never going to be perfect. We're never going to do everything right, but we're going to be transparent, and we're going to try to make steps to make sure that we don't make the same mistake twice.
When I was at the Arena Bowl, they had the day before they had the press conference or whatever, and I did talk to Gary Compton. I don't know if you know this or not, but he used to play for the Grand Rapids Rampage when he was a player.
After Milwaukee or before Milwaukee?
I think it was after Milwaukee.
Really?
But I talked to him. I actually interviewed him, and whatever I did, I lost the tape, and so we had a really nice little talk, and I lost it. So I
thought you were going to say you had a really nice video of your shoes after, because that's what you videotaped. You didn't get, you got 2 seconds of his face, and then it was like 20 seconds of your feet.
No, Coach Compton's awesome. I mean, he's really holding teams accountable for things. He's really wanting, he knows how things should be done correctly, and he's making sure that we're really mirroring the arena football when it was in its prime to make sure we get back there. Sometimes you got to recreate the wheel. Sometimes you need to update the wheel to be more efficient. But he knows arena football when it was in its prime, and he's holding us to that standard, which needs to be done. So very appreciative for the friendship I have with Coach Compton and just what a great person he is. And, I've spent a lot of time with him here lately, and he'll call me once, twice a week, and we'll talk about things. But no, he's just a great person, and we're lucky to have the front office staff that we do here with AF1.
Yeah, Adam and I have been saying that we really feel like you've got the right people leading the league now. Um, we have a lot of confidence that this league will survive and thrive now with the people that are running the league, and so we're very happy because we've loved this league for a long time. We want to see it back to the prominence that it had years ago, and we couldn't be happier about the state of the arena football right now.
Awesome. No, that's great to hear, and I definitely think that we're doing things on the right now. I couldn't think of how we could do things better right now, but we're doing it slow and steady. And like I said, are there going to be mistakes along the way? Absolutely. You can't learn by doing everything right. You have to learn from
Yeah.
mistakes. Are we going to make some mistakes? Yeah. But I can tell you we're going to be honest and transparent about it and do what we need to do, not make the same mistake twice. I mean, nothing's perfect. It's like missing an easy pass in a game. Just learn from your mistake and make sure you minimize the impact on other people. If you're going to miss a pass, make sure it doesn't get picked, and you just got to mitigate it here. But the fact of the matter is, I think around July 11th will be. I know around July 11th we're going to be crowning an AF1 champion.
Steve, thanks so much for talking with us today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm sure, hopefully, this won't be the last time we ever talk to you, but maybe we'll catch up with you just before the season starts and see if you're still holding it all together by then.
I'd love to. We should have a debate night. Me and Mike Corda can debate each other about Albany and Billings because. Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's we would absolutely do like these kind of owners, kind of for whatever we need to do to be transparent and be held accountable to our fans and our partners and our players. Absolutely, will do. And no, I think the Billings Albany game this year is going to be one for the books. Even though Billings is always still being called Tier 3 and Albany's the team to beat. Maybe Albany can try to beat us for once this season.
Love it. So yeah, thanks again, Steven, for popping on here. We truly appreciate it. Dad, you're not going to interrupt again while we're trying to do a wrap up, are you? Because all right. Well, Arena Football 1, everybody, be on the lookout for it. Check all the social medias and stuff. We'll put all that down in the description below, and we'll probably try to put a link to that T-shirt Randy was gushing about, so you can go buy a Billings Championship T-shirt. So
awesome.
Again, Steven, thank you for popping on. We totally appreciate it. And if you guys are looking for a couple of broadcast guys to do some games, Randy and I are not your guys. You've seen how we operated today. We probably couldn't handle it.
I loved it. This was so much fun, guys. Thank you for doing this. We've been on this for an hour. I can't believe we just flew by. I just had so much fun just talking to you guys. This has been a great afternoon talking arena football.
Hey, what are best friends for?
That's it.
That's right.
That's it.
So tune in next time when Steven comes back to get the update on the best friendship between him and Randy Snow, everybody. Have a good night.
Hey, Adam, you're jealous.
A little.
He is. Yes.
I know he is.
I guess just a little. You know what? Maybe I need to strike up a broship with another one of the team owners. I'm going to have to start sending some
John
DMs.
Chaney, I'll talk to you all day. Just talk to John.
I'll do that. John, look out for me to slide into your DMs. So. All right. Thanks again, Steven, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.